And we rocking side to side. With you in the front and I'm sailing right behind. Come with me.
Second time around?
Second time in a rowing boat, and I've been here twice on a sailboat.
Oh, you've been on a sailboat before?
Yeah.
So,
I love the island.
why your second time rowing?
Well, when I came back the first time, I really had this idea that I had like a little list of changes. I just bought a boat from the factory, and I had a list of changes I would like to do, and I thought I can build a better boat. And so I went around when I came back, and I went to an architect and went to some universities, and we designed a boat.
So you applied the science?
Well, you know, I had my ideas. I'm not an engineer.
Right.
So basically, the underwater ship of the boat is all designed by engineers and stuff. I had my ideas on the top of the boat, on the sides and on the top. And yeah, we came up with this. And then I wanted to build the most high-tech rowing boat ever built. And we went like this, and when we built this boat. And it's been an amazing year. And I built the complete boat because we didn't have a sponsor. So I built the whole boat myself. I've been very lucky to get around a lot of people that loved the project and gave me the opportunity to actually build a boat like this in their workshops. Believe in me, yeah. That's you know, rowing in the end, rowing the Atlantic is actually the easy part.
The rowing is the easy part?
Yeah, getting to the start line is the hard part. Getting the finances together. You know, the boat is roughly around 150,000 euros there now, so getting a boat like that ready, and I'm just a carpenter. You know, so getting the finances together and getting everything ready, it's a real struggle. And in the meantime, I'm training 25 hours a week. Sorry, a day. Training 25 to 30 hours a week, building a boat, running my building company, and yeah, so it's a lot of effort. But and then yeah.
So I'm curious. You said you built the boat, redesigned everything. What were tell us two of the things that absolutely felt you had to make different?
What I absolutely felt is what you see on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
My hull actually reflects outwards.
Okay.
I wanted to row across the Atlantic in a boat that does not get water on the deck, or very little.
Okay.
So because the teams, the crossings are coming closer and closer every year.
Right.
The times are getting closer and closer.
Right.
So where are you going to find the differences are all going to be little differences. Mm-hmm. So if you add like every 2% here, 1% here, 2% there, then you end up being 10% faster. And these are little things. And what I want more comfort inside. And
comfort?
Yeah. Well, like
you're rowing. What comfort?
Yeah. No, but you need. So when I lay in my cabin, I have my instruments in front of me, and they're on an angle towards me. They're not on the side. They're not behind me, because then you sitting like this. When I sit, when you're rowing, it's really like we row 2 hours on, 2 hours off. So when you stop, and then there's probably about a 5-minute overlap time. Right. You row a little bit together. Right. You come inside. You need to prepare your food, which takes 5-10 minutes. By the time you have your food ready and everything done, you need to clean your bum. You need to get everything. You're 20 minutes in.
Okay.
And then, but you need to wait 15 minutes up before you start to shift again. So every time you only have 1 hour sleep. So everything you do has to be done fast and has to be a lot of comfort.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So now you got company this time.
Yeah, I got company, yeah.
How easy was it to talk your company coming along? Because
he actually came to me.
Oh.
So I have a yacht and I have a sailboat, actually not a yacht, a sailboat, and I came into his marina, and after a few weeks he contacted me. He said, I know you're going to cross the Atlantic again with a pair. Could I come? And so I told him all the negative stuff about the road. Just negative. I told him, you know, you're going to have the worst time of your life. You know, nothing is easy on a boat, you know, on a rowing boat. But it did not discourage him at all. So and then we went training, and then we did a lot of tests with the physical tests, mental tests. I don't know how you say it in English, but with these colors and stuff.
Right.
And it came out that I'm probably the harder guy to deal with than he is.
What?
Because I'm really focused on winning, you know, and I would not accept anything.
We're not surprised.
I'm not accept anything if you don't put in 100%, you know.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would accept. or maybe a bit more even. And but what we found out from these tests that he's the same.
Oh.
So, which is really good. The only difference we have is in stress situations. We both react different. He goes in helicopter view. He wants to oversee everything and take his time to do everything. While I'm active. Bam, bam, bam. Do things straight away. Sometimes it's not good, but I think when you're in panic situations, it's better doing stuff really quick and fast than doing nothing.
Oh.
That's my approach to everything. That's how I always come through storms and always do everything. But it's good to know that he has this view, I have my view, and I'm the captain, so I just give him orders. But in a way, it was really good. But I was worried, of course,
about
how he was going to behave and how it was going to go, and is he going to, after the 69th shift, still going to come out of his bed, and push as hard as he can, Because
that's assuming he did.
He did. He really did. He pushed as hard as he could the whole way, and it was. Yeah, I cannot be proud of. I would get in a boat tomorrow and do it again with him. It's been
not
nice.
Tomorrow, maybe.
No, yeah, a few months. I have to recover a little bit, but it's been a really and we had these ideas of racing each other for a lot from the beginning.
Racing each other.
Yeah. So.
On the boat.
Yeah. So
to see how could.
So he rode for 2 hours, and we look at his time and his speed, and then I rode for 2 hours. But this did not really work. We found out that it's better to just be proud of each other's achievement, not of your own achievement. But so I would be proud of his achievement, and while he would be proud of my achievement. When I do 4.5 knots average over 2 hours, he would be the one cheering.
Okay, great.
Absolutely amazing, Mark. We did it, and we take the honor for that. And that's how we grew as a team.
I noted you wanted to at least do 100 miles at least in 124 hours.
Yeah, we not on the tracker, but we did on the chart follower. We did 100.
Oh, so you did it on your personal tracker?
Yeah, we did actually 104 or something. But sometimes you go a little bit like this.
Okay, all right.
And the tracker just straight lines. But
and are you satisfied? I know winning was one of your objectives, but I suspect you also had a timing objective. Are you satisfied?
We did, and we've talked a lot about this on the trip, and I think there will be a big chance that we're going to come and do it again together.
You're going to do it again together?
Yeah, I think
because you want to break that overall record.
That's what we were aiming for, but the weather did not allow us. We did absolutely the most that is humanly possible, I think, in this weather systems we had. But it was really, I knew that we could row faster than the force. We did all the tests. We did resistance tests of the boat, drag tests. We know in good winds, we can row 5 miles a day more than a strong foreman team. But saying this, I did not know that we could do this with no wind. But this only happened because we became such a team. Such a strong team and taking care of each other and always looking out for each other, And what I found is the hardest part is that when you have your sleep, in the beginning it went really good and you just go to bed, you crash and the guy will wake you up 10 minutes before and it takes a bit of time. But as it progressed, we started to push harder and harder and harder all the time, and we started to get exhausted, both of us. And what I found is that I would feel really sorry for him having to when at the end of his row, that I knew he could absolutely do no more than 1 minute more than his time.
Right.
Because that's how your mind works. You're going to row to 10 o'clock, and then you're going to give everything to 10. And 1 minute past 10, things are going to be sore and painful, and then it's going to be it's going to be. So what I started happening is that we both really started to be in. We would wake up 6 times before you're actually due. Before you're due, because you don't want to sleep in and make him row 1 minute longer, And I know that he would wake me up. He would shout a few times, or if the shouting didn't happen, he would actually come up and wake me up. But this never had to happen. But you're always constantly doing this with each other, and that's what the bonding really made it strong, I think, because we both had the same feeling. Saying this, there was one shift. This was really funny. That that we had this massive headwind, 30 knots of headwind, and in the middle there was one time that all the boats stopped. And I was on shift, and then we had headwinds, and I was run with 30 knots on the beam and water on the boat, and it was raining really bad, and I had the hardest time. I was rowing for 2 hours with an average heart rate of 180 or something. And then,
but weren't you supposed to have stopped rowing at that time?
Yeah, we should have, but we said we never stop. We always go forward, you know. We always do, unless it's absolutely not possible. But we never stop rowing. So saying this, I was out there fighting everything, and there was waves across the deck in the dark, because these things always happen in the dark, of course. So Kai comes on deck. I said, "It's your shift now. Good luck, mate." But it's tough up there, man. It's really tough. So he does his 2 hours, and at the end of the 2 hours, 5 minutes before, he says, "Mark, the wind is shifted to the northwest now, and we can go nowhere anymore now." And then it was up to 35 knots, and I said, "Well, let's drop out, not the para anchor, because the para anchor would take too long to pull in and stuff. We are going to be rowing really quickly, because we were in the middle of the low pressure."
Okay.
And then we dropped a drogue, a big drogue we had, which is easy to pull in. And then I said to him, so I said, "Well, we're going to sleep now for 2 hours." But I already had 2 hours sleep, you know. So I was 2 hours ahead of him. So I had actually it was 3 hours.
So you both slept.
Yeah, we both slept for 3 hours. But I was on the phone with my manager for 1 hour.
About the sleep that you got?
No, because I got 2 hours of sleep I had.
Right.
Then he woke me up, and then he said we cannot go anymore. So then I started calling with my manager that does the weather riding. He said, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "Call me back in 10 minutes, and then we make a plan and look where you are." This is the middle of the night for him as well. And then he comes and he says, and then in the middle of this, the wind completely dies. No wind, because we're in the middle of the low pressure.
Right.
So I said, "Dick, sorry man, but I'm going to start rowing again because we have no wind." So I go on deck, and then within 1 hour, so I had 3 hours of rest, and he only had 2 hours of rest. Within 1 hour, I have headwind 10 knots, but easy to row into.
Right.
But when I'm on my own, I'll do half a knot or something, or 1 knot. Still good. So I wake Kai up. I said, "Kai, I'm very sorry, mate, but you're going to come out now. We're going to row together again into this. It's going to be tough, but." And he starts with all these excuses. This is the one time only. "Oh man, but I was wet, and it took me 1 hour to get to sleep, and I cannot continue this on this trip like this because I will die, and this I cannot." Excuse after excuse, and I sat there listening to this, and I thought, "Oh, I feel so sorry for him. You know, I know what he's going through," and I didn't say too much. I said, "Well, you know, I know Kai. I have the same, but if this is going to make us win the race, if we push in, whether." We are the strongest when the shit hits the fan. That's when we are strong.
Right.
You know? That's when we win miles. Is when the situation gets tough. Is when you win miles. You know, when you can keep going, you win miles. So, but I felt a bit sorry. And then I like 2 minutes later, I said, "Kai, are you still there?" And he said, I said, "Well, maybe you just sleep a little longer then." He says, "No, fuck this. I've just taken 2 caffeine pills. I'm coming rowing for 4 hours now, and I'm not gonna stay inside anymore."
So you guys wrote it.
And then we were all online, you know. So it was not an argument, you know. But it was. So what? This is only one time that it went a little bit.
That you needed to provide extra motivation.
Yeah, a little bit, but he did good, you know. And then we rode together for 4, and it was the best. It was the best. Because I loved the moments that we were together, and actually spending time together and rowing together. The last 3 days were tough weather-wise because it was raining the whole time, and we fell off the seats and a lot of the times, but we didn't sleep a lot the last 3 days because during the days we were just together, you know, and we were sharing stories, and we are always sharing stories. We always started thinking about new businesses and stuff. And
new businesses?
Yeah, we are right. Yeah, while rowing, we always talking about business opportunities and then what are we going to do next and how we're going to do this and how so it was really, really amazing. And for me, it was a mission to, you know, because there's a 17 years of age difference between the two of us.
Okay.
And at first I didn't notice this. But later on in the race, or later on, not in the race, but in the time preparing for the race,
right.
I started noticing this big age gap. I've, you know, it's 17 years is a lot, and it was really hard for me. But when I thought about, I'm going to teach this guy some lessons in life, and I'm going to provide him with a much better future with this, because I think every young kid should row across the Atlantic.
What?
I think they should, because this brings you back to the essence of life, you know. And
but you said a young kid.
Yeah. Well, perfect. You know, I mean not young, but I mean 18 plus, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I was just thinking of my age, and I'm not going to row across the Atlantic.
No, but I mean every you know, just mature guy should row across the Atlantic and know what it is like to keep going, keep pushing, because this is what life, and then appreciate the normal things in life what we take for granted, you know, like having a fridge, having a shower, having all this stuff. We are living in such a luxurious lifestyle that you don't appreciate it anymore.
So how did COVID impact any of this for you? Did it?
No, it did not at all actually. Well, I always look on the positive side of things. And there's less traffic on the roads. I could train more. Driving to work is faster. I think there was only positive sides to the COVID.
Excellent. So what's next?
There's a few big projects on my list, and but I really I would love to do the Vendée Globe, which is the biggest yacht race around the world.
Right. I follow you on your races, so I pay attention.
Yeah, I did the Golden Globe, which is also non-stop. The next step is the Vendée Globe. Completely different story, but what I found from 2017 is, you know, I'm not the best sportsman that there is out there. There's guys that can run faster than me, that can cycle faster, they can do it, but I'm good at. I just don't stop.
Yeah,
I can keep going. I have persistence to start something, to finish it. That's what I'm good at, and there's so many more expeditions you can do. It doesn't have to be across the road. You can also go walking for 30 kilometers a day and do this a week in a row. This is also, there's so many small things that you can do to trigger your body to come into that. And I love that, you know. And so, yeah, maybe I'm going to do a bit of mountain climbing, a bit of running. I've really enjoyed swimming lately. I'm doing long distance swimming. I love that too. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of this and that, but I'm going to stay fit. That's the most important thing, because I love being like this, being fit and making my body into an instrument. That nothing is impossible, you know.
And we expect to see you back in Antigua,
either
as a pairs again, perhaps.
Yeah,
or
well,
maybe with
as a four.
As a four.
Yeah, I would like to do this as a four and get 4 crazy guys together and.
3 crazy guys. You're there. You're cover that.
Yeah, but.
How about a mixed pair? Throw a girl in.
Maybe that could do too.
I'll send Kavinia.
Yeah, there could be too. You know, something like this would be really fun. I have a little boat building business now too. You know, this is also something I've always wanted to bring a product on the market. So this is my 4th boat.
So now this boat that you have here, that you said you.
Yeah, it's my design, and
could we possibly have you then supplying other royals from that?
Yeah, I would love to do. I would not love to. I don't see really like buying or selling 50 boats a year or 20 boats a year. I would love to do like 1 or 2 boats a year, but also help the people getting to the start line and preparing properly. Because
so that means you're going to do a session for us in Antigua, so that more of us get motivated.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
More of them. Making it clear, I'm not good.
Yeah. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. And also, they could also always come over to Holland, and before they go to La Gomera and train in Holland, because we have similar wave. Oh, you have the same up here as well, but we can actually we have winds sometimes from the south, sometimes from the north. We always have it from the same direction. Right. So we can row on the North Sea, and then but there's lots of possibilities, and I would love to.
Sunny rocking side to side. With you in the front and I'm sailing right behind. Come with me as we ride along the way. Put some pep in the step and let's go on this voyage. I wanna get in the waistline. Come sail with me. When the waves start to rock, I can handle it. No journey is too far. GPS well equipped. If I find a sweet spot, girl, I will take that in. I love the way you whine, I love the way